In the last session, we talked about what a crisis is and how to spot a crisis in a student's life. But what do we do when we discover that a kid really is in crisis? Today, we'll give you some very simple tools to have in mind when you are in the middle of a conversation with a student where you feel they are experiencing a crisis. Here's tool number 1. Ask the un-askable question. Often, we don't want to use words like suicide or abuse in a conversation with a student because we don't want to offend them or assume. We usually sometimes want to use coded language because the situation feels delicate and we don't want to make things worse. But if a student is really thinking of ending his or her life, feels unsafe at home, or is experiencing some other kind of crisis, and they are talking to you, that's a cry for help. If you have a reason to believe a student is in danger or is a danger to others, asking the questions that are difficult to ask in very clear and plain language often doesn't offend the student, but actually lets them know you really care about them. And it helps you know exactly what situation you're dealing with. Examples of these questions are: number 1, have you had thoughts of ending your life? Number 2, do you feel safe at home? And number 3, has somebody physically harmed you? Well, this is the end of part 1. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about how to distinguish and help students who may be suicidal. It's called the SLAP method, and I promise we won't be heading any kids. See you mañana.